This is Jordan from Jersey, and this is what I thought of Lost Season 6, lucky number 13 episode, The Last Recruit. And who was the last recruit? Well, turns out it was Jack Shephard. Kinda saw it coming a little bit throughout the episode, but if you'd asked me 3 weeks ago which of these people was going to join Locke's camp, I probably wouldn't have said Jack. And just as Locke and Jack came together in a very explosive situation on the main timeline, and Timeline B, the Flash Sideways, they also came together as Jack was John Locke's spinal surgeon. Mr. Gladfelter over at Jay and Jack, you must be very happy because your prediction way back from the beginning of the series has finally come true. Now, as you can probably hear, my voice is fading fast, so let's do this as quick as possible. But before we get into more of the review, I just want to say a special thank you to YouTube user Groken for being my 100th subscriber. Please subscribe, send links to your friends, get them to subscribe, and pretty soon I'll be telling you who the 200th subscriber was. Now, this episode was not character-centric. We got a little bit of everyone's story, and quite frankly, I think it worked really well. Sun and Jin finally got their reunion after 2 seasons? Yeah, 2 seasons of being apart, just about. They're finally together, maybe not the way they exactly wanted, because things don't look like they're going to end awesomely over on Hydra Island, but at least they're together in the Flash Sideways, and Sun and the baby are fine. Meanwhile, Sawyer, Kate, Saeed, and Miles all met up. They're still a little bit separate from the main gang, but they're sure to meet up sooner or later, and Jack finally met his half-sister off the island, and they had more discussion of that on the island, and we got a surprise appearance from Zalika Robinson as Alana. Kind of figured after she exploded last episode we wouldn't see her again, but hey, she was back this time, and as a lawyer, so that was kind of cool to see. Now, one thing we didn't see, or should I say 3 things we didn't see this episode, were Ben, at least in the main timeline, Miles, at least in the main timeline, and Richard Alpert. All 3 of them off on their own, going off to an outrigger canoe. Now, you may or may not remember, but during last season, I believe it was the 5th episode, not 100% sure on that, I looked it up earlier today, but I forget now. Anyway, during the time travel period, when they were all flashing to the future, to the past, back and forth, Sawyer, Juliet, and a few others were on one of the outrigger canoes. They found it on the beach with an Aegir Airlines water bottle inside. They went off into the water, and then someone, we never saw who, followed them in an outrigger canoe and started shooting at them. They fired back and hit one of the people, and then they flashed away, never to be seen again. Now, if you look at screenshots of that boat, it looks like there was about 3 people on board, and guess what 3 people are going out to an outrigger? Well, Ben, Miles, and, of course, Richard Alpert. Now, the question is, if they indeed are going to get shot at after shooting at a boat with John Locke in it, because they might mistake him for another guy who looks kind of like John Locke but isn't, which one of them is going to get shot? Now, Juliet did the actual shooting that ended up in someone falling out of the boat. Could it be Ben? Will she finally get a from-the-grave bit of karma against him? Be interesting to see. So what's the fate of Desmond? He was clearly alive at the beginning of the episode. And that well looks a lot shallower than it did last episode, but let's not split hairs there. Is he still alive? Did Saeed kind of come back from the dark side? Did Claire kind of come back from the dark side? Does that make Jack not only the last recruit, but the only recruit? Only time's going to tell on that one. And is it safe to say that Jack died when that bomb went off? Even for a split second and was brought back by Locke? I know he opened his eyes and seemed to be fine. But could he have died in the period of time that John Locke was carrying him back to the tree? Because if so, then we'd have 3 people who died and were in some way brought back by the smoke monster. At least they're keeping with the pattern. Also, giant answer again this week, and I thought handled better than the whispers last week. Christian Shephard, when seen on the island, was indeed the smoke monster. Now, that's cool. Problem is, Christian Shephard appeared to Jack off island in the flash forwards. Was that the smoke monster? Was he able to get off the island, or was it just a crazy dream, something in his subconscious? Either way, that one still kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, so it's interesting to see where that goes. Well, I've had a long day. I've had a great day, quite frankly. Even aside from Lost, I've had a very good day. But I just want to get this review up for you guys. Let me know what you think. I know you can't put comments under this video, but leave a comment on my profile. And please subscribe to the videos. I'll see you not next week for a new review. Now, hear me out. There will be a new video next week. I'm going to do an updated version of my time travel paradox video with the new information that we have from this season. hopefully, if any of you are still having questions about how does this quite work, I'll be able to explain it to you in a way that just makes sense and a little less complicated, I hope. But so next week, there's no new episode of Lost. You can still tune in, use the subscription feature, and you'll get a new video from me about time travel and Lost and how it all works with the parallel universes and all that. And then in 2 weeks, non-stop Lost till the end of the season. See you then. Have a good week. Have a good night. See you later.